Welcome back, everyone, here in the studio at North Metro TV. This is Sports Den. I'm Blythe Whaley. Alongside me is Mary Rominger. And tonight, we have that thrilling time of year just getting started. We get to mention state and seeing what's to come for our teams.
Exactly right, Blythe. And we start the show with girls high school hockey. The postseason is here, and the teams in Section 5-2A trying to be a part of the most coveted event in all of Minnesota. It's a battle between the 2 and 3 seeds in the 5-2A semifinals. Centennial Spring Lake Park coming face to face with North Wright County. Both squads posted shutouts in the opening round to advance. There in the first period, CSLP strikes on the man advantage. It was Grace Lager from Alex Larson. Cougars led 1-0 until Riverhawks' Danny Weiland nets the equalizer shorthanded. Later, another power play opportunity for CSLP. Lauren O'Hara feeds Ella O'Hearn in the slot. O'Hearn lofts it to the back of the net. Cougars lead 2-1 going into the third period, and right out of the intermission, Alexis Laren gets to the paint and shoves in the second attempt. Nice pass from Ellie Newpower as CSLP extends its lead, and the Cougars win this one 5-2 to advance to the semifinals.
We knew they were aggressive, so just realizing that and bringing ourselves into it, knowing that they're going to be a hard team and that we just needed to want it more.
They're a very physical team. We knew that coming into this. Last time we played them, they use their body a lot. They're pretty physical, take quite a bit of penalties. So taking that and not retaliating was a big thing that we knew coming into this one.
The Cougars outshot North Wright County 44-26 and converted on 2 of 4 power play chances. O'Hara with 3 points in the game. Lager with 3 of her own, including the primary assist on both of O'Hara's third period tallies. And Caitlin Gross stayed poised in nets, making 24 saves. And that brings us to the 5-2A championship, with Centennial Spring Lake Park coming face to face with a foe of their conference, Maple Grove. Maple Grove, of course, has been state ranked all season long after winning the Northwest Suburban Conference title. No score, second period, the Crimson strike first. Ella Olson, the one to light the lamp with a shot from point blank. You can feel the tension in the air, but no moment is too big for Gross. There she stays square and doesn't let that puck sneak 5-hole. Later in the frame, Cougars on the power play as the clock winds down. Noelle Hermer tips in a shot from Emma O'Hearn, a huge goal to tie the game at 1 goal apiece. So much skill there by Hermer to knock that puck in. We go to the final frame. Again, CSLP with the man advantage, but right as the power play expires, KV Chatlian cleans up the loose rebound in front. It was Hermer that walked in for that initial shot, and that's all it would take. The Cougars take down Maple Grove to claim the 5-2A crown and punch their ticket to the state tournament. Oh man, what an exciting game that was. It couldn't have been any more close, with shots 31-30. The biggest difference, the Crimson went to the box on 4 different occasions. When you look closely at it, that really accounted for both of CSLP's goals. And again, Hermer and Chatlian with both goals. Chatlian with the eventual game winner, and Caitlin Gross stays poised, making 29 saves. So there you have it. The Cougars take down the 1 seed in front of a rowdy crowd at the Roseville Ice Arena to advance to XL Energy Center. All the top seeds in this Section 5-2A bracket making it to the end. And CSLP, you can't stress it enough, what a huge win to take down a team in Maple Grove that was dominant all season long. So here's the destiny in the Class 2A bracket at XL Energy Center. CSLP is unseeded, and they'll take on the top seed, Minnetonka. They are the tournament favorites. Minnetonka is home to some of the best players in the state, and they won their section title with a 4-0 shutout win over Holy Family. You couldn't have predicted that Minnetonka right out of the gate, Blythe. That's going to be a tough one.
It's a tough break, but also you love the underdog story. So what awesome things could possibly be in their future.
Well, turning it over now to the Section 5-8 boys hockey bracket. CSLP gets the 8th seed, and they'll face off against Irondale St. Anthony in the 7 o'clock game tomorrow at home. And then whoever wins that one will go on to face the top-seeded team in Rogers. Then with the 4-seed Centennial set to take on Totino Grace on February 23rd. That's Wednesday, and that game will be broadcasted on North Metro TV. You have to note that the weather looks to be quite dicey as we get closer to that Wednesday mark, so hopefully these games can proceed without issue. Now in the 7-2A boys hockey bracket, 8th-seeded Blaine won their first round game against 9th-seeded Anoka. So they will take on top-seeded Duluth East tomorrow at 5 p.m. and that'll be at Duluth East. Again, 5 o'clock puck drop, and all the top seeds really for the area's teams meeting the area's teams, I guess you should say, in the first round of the hockey playoffs. So it'll be exciting, but you said it, the underdog story, that's what we're rooting for.
Yeah, and I'm just still pumped for them beating Maple Grove. I mean, they're such a powerhouse in every sport, it seems, just across the board. So for them to get that victory to put themselves there is pretty good accomplishment. But you guys, we don't just have hockey on our broadcast. We also get to head to the courts and see how our teams did for basketball. Here we go. In this first one, it is the ladies, of course. Spring Lake Park Panthers heading to take on the Blaine Bengals. This is Taylor Bergstrom all the way to the hole, the three-point play opportunity for her as she gets fouled. But the Blaine Bengals continue here and start to push their way forward. Mara Hawley putting it through. Another nice lay-in. Bella Such, though, love that bounce pass through traffic to find her teammate underneath. But Danielle Davis shows some range here, dropping the tray. And what is exciting is Spring Lake Park's Cameron Smith. We've seen her have success over the years, but she puts down a three of her own to get things heated up for the Panthers. Molly Garber. We say her name so much on our North Metro TV airways, but she drops a jumper to help her team forward. This is Madison Bryant. Look how fast she just went through the lane. She called her own number, made it happen. Mara Hawley scoring that last play for the Bengals. 68-48, that final score. Blaine wins it.
Molly, what does it mean to lead your team like this, be the leading scorer on senior night?
It feels good. We work as a team really well, and I think that's a big part of it. And we've played together for a while through traveling just with the seniors, and we just mesh together. It's great.
What are the emotions like on senior night? There must be a real desire to get the win on a night like tonight.
Yeah, it is senior night, so it was a big night for us. It felt really good to get the win, and we were just fighting for it all the way through.
Your defense forced 24 turnovers. You were everywhere, jumping in the passing lanes and whatnot. How much does the defense lead to offense for your team?
We're a very defensive-first team. Our defense triggers our offense, so when we get rolling on defense, it just leads right into our offense, which helps.
Mara, you didn't start tonight like you normally would have, but you still managed to contribute 18 points, and more importantly, you keyed that with a lot of defense.
It was an exciting game. We really needed this win, so it was definitely a bonus that we won this game. And it's senior night, so it was really big, I think.
How important was that to get this victory for the outgoing seniors?
I mean, for us to have like a tough sections and everything, it was super big, and we haven't won in like 3 games, so I think we really needed this as a team.
You have a really tough competitive section, but how do you think the team is playing as section play nears?
I think we'll do pretty good. I mean, we have some tough games ahead of us, but if we play as a team and we stick together, I think we can do pretty good.
As you heard there in the soundbite, Blaine Bengals, the defense helped them in this game have the offense. But Mara Hawley, 18 points, Garber 18 as well. So some great performances across the board for their offense, putting it through. But Spring Lake Park, Gorish, 15 points. They had some players get into double digits as well. Let's take a look at the boys as we head back to the court.
And Blaine visits Spring Lake Park. First half, Bo Johnson muscles his way to the rack for 2 of his 24 points on the evening. Panthers pushing the pace. Here is Brock Remy with a quick bucket off the transition. Blaine answers. Ryan Bowman pulls up for a shot from downtown. Bowman led the floor with 27 points. Check out Alvin Payne, drives in and banks in 2 with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Second half now, Blaine in front 52-47. SLP cutting into it as Mikey Say puts up the long-range jumper, 3 of his 26 in the ballgame. The Panthers now leading by a point until Jordan Lyon moves in and finishes with the jump shot to put the Bengals back in front, but not for long. Things really tighten up. Quick 3-ball there from Braden Talso. Tie game. SLP kicks it out to Remy, and Remy knocks it down from the corner. The Panthers run away with it from there, 88-78 final. Big win for Blaine. Here's Matt Dean's post-game interviews.
What were you thinking about during that stretch, and how did you kind of feel like that was your time to shine when the shots weren't falling and you kind of to come through with your rebounding?
Well, that's just been kind of my game all year, just offensive rebounds, and just posting up, getting just easy 2 points in there. Paint touches. That was a focal point of our offense. Just get a paint touch every time down the floor. And when we're not hitting, I'm just trying to get an offensive rebound, get that in there. And yeah, that's just my game.
Good battle between you and Zach Schusted down low tonight for Blaine. You guys are both going to be playing in the same league next year in football. Missouri Valley Conference. Is that a matchup you were looking forward to facing him?
Looking forward to. Yeah, he told me, I was talking to him a little bit. He said he's a tight end, and so it'll be a good battle between us. Missouri Valley Conference play, NDSU versus UND, and I ain't got much to say about that. Just excited to play them.
Bo had the big lifting in the first half. You guys need a spark in the second half. You go down at one point and you hit 3 threes in 3 straight possessions. When were you feeling like it was going to be a good night for you tonight?
Definitely not at first. I mean, I wasn't real, wasn't nothing special first half, just normal scoring coming out free throws and layups. But definitely after I hit that first 3 in the second half, like Bo said, it was vocal point for paint touches, and I was just feeling it was going to go in. So I had to come get 2 more real quick, and honestly, I was going to keep shooting it until I missed for sure. So
the whole team had 2 threes at halftime, I think. So you had 3 pretty early. Like, what did you guys take away from the first half that was going well, where you thought, hey, we can turn this thing around in the second half?
Definitely. So Blake, I went into the half, and Bo had 20 of our 38, 39, I think. So we were like, we got to help him out. We got to help him out, and we knew we weren't on fire, and we knew we were, we're a good shooting team. We knew we weren't full potential. So it was just keep on shooting. Once they start falling, they're going to start falling. Let Bo keep eating. So that's what we did out of half, and it definitely works and helped us.
Really strong victory for Spring Lake Park, 88-78, a 10-point victory, but really talent on display from both benches and lineups tonight, on this night. Bowman with 27 points. You heard Mikey Say talk about his 26, and a very competitive matchup, but a meaningful victory for Spring Lake Park.
And we'll head back to the courts to see our boys in action again. The Centennial Cougars heading on the road to take on the Anoka Tornadoes. Right away, Centennial getting heated up. Simcoe to Hosfield, dropping it early. But this awesome steal, you see Ty Burgoon come racing through end to end. Made it happen. The Tornadoes, Daniel Praw puts this one through. Again, the Tornadoes finding things in the first half, but up and in, Timmy Ball, that's Gunderman who found him. But this backdoor pass to Dryson for 2. That's just stereotypical, leaving the back door open. How could they? But Hosfield, again, from range, gonna get this one to bounce in. But Anoka not stopping here. Hodani calls his own number, lays it in on the right side. 71-71 tie ball game as Cooper finishes this off after Podani has the miss. But Cooper, that's what you need your teammates for. But finishing it off at the free throw line, Borchers helped solidify this victory for the Tornadoes, 81-74. Taking a look at that, 81-74. Again, the Orinoco Tornadoes just pulling away right there at the end, but look at those players in double digits and almost getting over to that 20 mark. 17, 16, so Cooper, Borchers even had 15. A lot of players in double digits, but Dreisen, 22 points, 7 rebounds, nearly a double-double from him, but Hosfield does get that double-double, 17 points and 13 rebounds. So still good performances from the Cougars.
Now turning it back over to the girls' action later in the week, Centennial visits Blaine. And this could be a big one for Blaine in the conference. More rivalry action first half. Bengals come out hot. Madison Bryant with the bucket down low. Later, Annika Schulman adds to Blaine's lead with a shot from the wing. Scoring coming from all over for Blaine. Sadie Dominic with the jumper in the lane. Centennial answers. It's Marissa Frost. She puts in a nice triple from the wing. Frost finished with 9 points. Then it's Autumn McCall. Excuse me, that's Sadie Dominic for Blaine. Blaine. This is a game of streaks and runs. Mara Hawley there. And Frost answers with back-to-back buckets. Not a whole lot of buckets falling in this one. Blaine's defense a big part in that. But you're seeing what was on display. There's Marissa Frost again. Again, she ended with 9 points. And in the end, it's Blaine on top, 39-29.
You played a 2-3 zone we were talking about quite a bit this season. What was the game plan coming in against Centennial tonight? What were you guys worried about them, and how did you guys execute on the defensive end?
I mean, mostly it's just staying long on top and, not trying to get to the middle. But, like with having a bonus of long arms and stuff, I think that's really helpful to have on top.
A few years since you guys had beat Centennial, you're just a sophomore, so you get to be a part of it. How big of a win is that for you guys, considering it might not be the last time you guys play them this year?
Felt really great tonight. We were all really hyped after the win, and it was a good win. It was a good win. We really needed it.
Our defense definitely rolls into our offense. So if we can get the stops on defense, we can just work it on offense.
What's it mean for you as a senior to get a nice win against the Cougars?
Oh, it's nice, definitely nice, especially since they're a section opponent. We've always battled with them throughout the year, so it's nice to get one.
Have it. Not a ton of offense in this one, but Blaine's defense, the difference maker, a 49-31 victory for the Bengals. And later we'll talk about how this all shakes things up in the conference standings. But Molly Garber with 15 points leading the floor. Autumn McCall on the other side with double digits in points with 10. And Blaine gets a very strong victory.
But the boys, to finish off basketball for us, we see the Cougars taking on the Blaine Bengals. The Bengals had to travel, but starting things off early is Bowman behind the three-point line, gets it to roll in. Always need that friendly touch. But Jackson Dreisen from the elbow pops it and sinks it for the Cougars. Cougars continue the heat streak with Ty Burgoon launching and nailing this one. But Centennial's Dreisen proving it from way downtown, gets it to go. But the Blaine Bengals, Ethan Pettis to be exact, the coach's son, nailing the three and helping add some more points for the Bengals. Look at that lay-in by Luke Gunderman, but take note of that first half score as we see this so close. 26-29. As we head to the second half, Bowman launches and lands the three. Pettis finds a three of his own. Blaine is pulled away, and that final score, 76-54. being able to lead the team in scoring has to feel quite great, but you were also putting in the buckets tonight to prove it. How did that feel out there?
It felt great. I mean, junior year means a lot. Dad's the coach. I got a brother on the team. It's been a great year. We got great seniors. I mean, we got great leadership on our team, and I'm having a blast. I mean, it helps when my teammates help me get open all the time.
And it's cool that you mentioned that. Of course, this game, your brother also getting in at the end of it. How fun is it to see him out there on the court making some plays?
It's awesome. I want him to score so bad. I want him to score so I can cheer him on. But it's fun because we grew up and we played. This is what we talked about. So it's a great feeling.
How are you able to be in the right spot always?
It's mostly just hustle. Honestly, I just make sure I go for the ball every time. I see where it's coming off. Beat my guy to it. That's basically all there is to it.
Yeah.
Just hustle.
And what difference do you feel like happened in that second half? After this game was a 3-point game at halftime, what adjustments was Ethan talking about that you guys made in the second half?
Yep, so going into halftime, we got back there and we talked about it, and we just needed to bring up the energy. We came out a little flat. So basically our main focus was just to get out there and play as hard and as fast as we can and just outwork the other team. And I think that's what we did in the second half there.
As you see, that final score, 76-54. Ethan Pettis, 24 points. Schusted, 23. And Bowman, 11. A lot of contribution on the offense. But the Cougars, Dreisen, did get into double digits as well with 15. And Burgoon, not too far behind with 8. And Gunderman as well. As we look at the standings for the boys, Blaine Bengals leading of our 3 teams at 8-7 in the conference and 7-15 overall. Look at Park Center, overall undefeated, 21 wins on the season, 15 in conference play. But Spring Lake Park 7-8 and 9-11, and Centennial down there at 2-13 and 5-17. So a little bit tougher season there for the Cougars, but we look at our schedules and Centennial gets to look for that win here as they go on the road for a couple, Coon Rapids and Duluth East. But Blaine's schedule, they're coming off of a win at Centennial on the road. They'll get a home stretch of a couple games playing Champlain Park and Osseo. And Spring Lake Park going to try to bounce back from this loss that they just had at Osseo with that home game against Armstrong.
Turning it over to the Northwest Suburban Conference girls basketball standings, a very competitive conference, and you had Centennial, Blaine, and Spring Lake Park all in head-to-head action this past week. Centennial sitting at 3rd in the conference with 12 wins, but Blaine being able to get a win over Centennial put them in good shape to try and stay upwards in the conference standings. They have 10 conference wins, and Spring Lake Park 7-10. With their in-conference record. Coming up for all 3 girls basketball teams, Blaine will finish out the schedule on the road, Champlain Park, then Osseo to close things out. They'll try and continue 2 recent wins. And for Centennial, Coon Rapids at home, and then Andover. And for Spring Lake Park, 3 more games at Armstrong, Matamidi, then Totino. Grace. Things are really heating up in the girls basketball conference standings with section playoff action right around the corner.
Yeah, and something that is also exciting is we don't always have gymnastics on our airwaves, and this show we do. So let's head on over and take a look at our performances, as this is a massive meet, that 7AA gymnastics results. We'll get to look at that championship on the beam. A lot of amazing performances, but what is going to be a consistent is we will see Sophia Larson at the top of it for Blaine time and time again. As we continue throughout our results, getting to see the floor routines. So many different ladies stepping up to the plate, a lot of individual performances that really brought attention. Overall, the team scores weren't necessarily the best coming out of this, but what matters is they came out there, they did everything they could, and we get to celebrate those individual performances. Again, Blaine, Sophia Larson found ways to win and do well. She got 2nd in the vault first.
I worked very hard to get a layout, and overall I'm very happy with how it turned out. On bars, I added a few new skills this meet. And again, very happy with how it turned out. Surprised me a little bit when I landed my dismount. I had a rough start of the meet on beam and floor, but yeah, winning all around is a big thing, and I'm very, very happy.
But as we look at that overall, Sophia Larson, the champion there on the top, 36.425. But as we look, Centennial, some performances that got them 12th, 13th, and 15th. So they still had some good performances, but vault, Sophia Larson, second place. Again, you see why she was the champion overall. And on the bars, first place, and those floor routines, she was able to place 8th, and Centennial 10th there. Amelia Gannon.
That was a loaded show, Blythe. And
it's so awesome, though.
The one that we're looking forward to most, the soonest playoff matchup being in that Class 2A girls hockey matchup. CSLP will face Minnetonka. Exciting.
How wonderful. But good luck to all of our teams as they start to wind down their season into what is, like we say, that thrilling time on our Sports Den show especially. But on behalf of Mary Rominger and our director, Ted LaRue, I'm Blythe Whaley, signing out from Sports Den. Till next time, guys. Have a good week.